We are back yet again for episode 5 of the chironomid tying 101 series. And today I have yet another experimental pattern for you. I've been doing a bit of experimenting with a pattern that's extremely similar, just doing it on a snow cone. And that will be the burnt orange pupa. So the difference between this and the snow cone, which you can tie it in a snow cone obviously, will be that you're using a black nickel bead and gills. The black nickel bead represents a darker head and thorax. So we'll start with our thread. And our thread for this will be burnt orange. This represents, like, I've had some times where I've seen like golden chironomids and I'm like, oh no, I have nothing to represent this with. And right now we're just tying it on in front of the bead. And we will tie in our gills, which are antron yarn. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit tired. It's like 11 o'clock at night right now. We need a little bit more of a thread dam there. There we go. That's a good little thread dam. So I'm just going to do a little 3-turn whip finish on this. 1, 2, 3. I'm hoping that this fly will be a very effective pattern for me this year. We will see though. So now we're going to push our bead up to the head and tie our thread back in. Now the next and only other material we are going to grab will be some extra small or small silver wire. I'm using extra small because it's what I have. If I can actually get this to tie in, that would be really nice. Then we're going to tie it all the way back into the hook bend. Then you're going to work your thread all the way back up the shank. Then we're going to try to build a pretty even body. And I think we've already got a good enough one built. So I'm not going to try to taper that anymore. So now we're going to counter wrap our wire up the body just like we do for the snow cones or any chironomid in this series for whatever reason. You don't even need to counter wrap these. It's just something I do because of the way I've been tying them. You can't really see my wire. Then you're just going to tie that off at the head, just as you would any other material. Then you're just going to, poke myself with the hook that time. I have big hands, so it's a little bit annoying sometimes. Yep, just break it free, helicopter it, however you want to do it. That wire's too short for me to use really now. So then we're going to do a little 3-turn whip finish. 2, 3. And we're we're going to cut our thread free. Then last, actually not last, we are going to apply UV resin, as we do for all our chironomids in this series. See, my original plan was this would be done by episode 4. But plans change. Although it might be a little while before I can release another one. Because this is my last chironomid hook. And I'll have to order some in before I can tie more. Order some in, or I can buy these ones at a local store. I think there's a few at one of the main local stores. And now we're just going to hit it with the UV light. You can see the wires really well under the UV light. Now, the very last thing we're going to do before this fly is done is cut off our gills to around a bead length, maybe a bead and a half. And there we go. That is how you tie my burnt orange chromie. Have a good one.